Good morning. Right, let's get down to business, shall we? Okay, so today it's Monday, the 5th of July 2021. Time is 25 minutes before 6 a.m. Let's get down to business, shall we? Right, so let me launch both of the web applications. This one, .NET Framework, and this one, .NET Core. All right. And then I need txt file, then okay, so the focus is going to be on the partial access role. So I don't know, one of the videos previously I explained that my system is making use of 3 roles, so that's why I need this document. The very first role, it's for admin, so let me just write admin. The second one is for client, and the third one is partial access underscore access. Now this is for administrator, obviously. This is for clients. So I had a little bit of an issue that how do I allow a business or store owner to end up having their business listed on my mobile application? How does it end up being one of these pins like Kahishos La Papers? So there's a process. You register account. We did that, I believe, from video number 20 and then 21 all the way up until now. So you do that, you verify your email, you add your phone number, you verify your phone number, right? So right now, if we do that, let's see this account for YouTube underscore user. It's one of the newly registered users that I have registered on video number 20. So now there we go. So this person has done everything, but this person is left with just making a payment. That's when I introduced PayFast as an external service provider. While this is loading, have you subscribed? How many of the videos have you watched? I can tell that the content of this on this YouTube channel is good. Tell your friends about it. Now let's continue. So YouTube underscore user has attempted to log in after going through the process of registering an account, verifying email, adding phone number, verifying that phone number, and now they have to make a payment. So I'm just gonna simulate how this process works, right? So but for me, after they pay, I need to give them the role called partial access. Right, that's what we're gonna be doing next. So let me go back to login. Now, so for administrator, let's say it has this ID 12345 dash blah 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 blah. That's a unique ID assigned to administrator. And then for clients, let's say 898765 da 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 da. And then for partial access, 56789 dash da da. Right, these are the rules. So currently I have an issue with administrative account. So let's prove that. If I tap here and say identical docs crew, it's not an issue, it's a bug. I'm still having some difficulties fixing this bug, but it's only affecting .NET Framework version of this web application. But in .NET Core, it's working perfectly. Let's give it a second to spin the login. There we go. And then log in. And then it works. But I'm still gonna figure out what's happening. I have an idea. So I am authenticated. You know what's the problem with the .NET Core version of this web application? If I go to tasks, I'm not completely done yet with the roles and users for this system. Everything else is being set up. Everything is being set up. Everything except for these 2 roles. It's practically empty, right? Oh no, I do have, these are the rows I was talking about. Well, I do have the rows. They do work, right? Let's go to partial access. Oh, you see, I'm not yet done with it. Okay. And then The one I want to focus on is the users. So I am administrator. I need to do something for that new user called YouTube_user. Do I have something here? Oh, so I do have the users. Interesting. But I cannot do anything further with this functionality on .NET Core version of this web application, because the person that we want to talk to or deal with is this person, YouTube_user. So if I click there, you see, there's nothing, but I need to assign this person some sort of role for them to be able to, do what needs to be done. So I'm unable to do this in .NET Core version. So now we know that's an issue, but at least I get to see this because it's not that simple. And then let me quickly explain and show from Visual Studio the process. It's not that simple. Okay, so if you go to controllers, MVC, administrator, general, you see users controller. Okay, so let's give it a second to spin. Because I promised on my overview video that I was going to be raw and then I was going to show you everything, so that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm still going to do and complete all the functionalities for .NET Core version of this web application, but just know that it's tedious, but not difficult, just tedious. So let's look at the lines of code, how many they are. In total, there are 1734 lines of code. Now, what's so challenging about this? Firstly, is this application user manager? Well, I can get it. That one I know for sure. And I can also get application user role for .NET Core. That's not the issue. The issue, for example, if I have to see more information about the user, like the info action method or the info page, it's making use of this type of method called getUser. That's what I want to go to. Well, maybe it's not that difficult or complex. This is getUser. Okay, I'm using AutoMapper. No, I will do it. Okay, so right, this is not where I want it to be. Now, what I did, I created an account called new admin. It's a temporary account. New space admin, and then my super secret password, but I want to change it now because I don't like it. Yeah, let's save this account. You see, now I'm authenticated as administrator. I have access to tasks, but I want to now change the password to make it a bit more complex. Just give it a second. Change your password. The old one, now the new one. That's how long I make my passwords, by the way. And then hit save. Update this one. Okay, there we go. Perfect. It was a success. Your password has been changed. Now let's go to tasks, because this is a fully fledged system. It works. If you go to roles, it works perfectly. Here I went nuts to do this thing the right way, but it took me a while to do this thing, get right. So now, like I said, this partial access, it's for any first time user who just registered the account, verify the email, edit the phone number, verify the phone number, and now they have to make a payment. So let's say they did make a payment. So what's the first thing that I need to do? Firstly, let me open this guy in a new tab, the operations, and then now let's go to subscriptions. The problem is they don't have a business yet. So what I need to do is that I need to allow them. In fact, let's take a look at that from the login. Let's go to account controller. Yes. Let's check what happens when they log in after I've given them partial access role. Let's allow this guy to spin a bit because he's doing some task in the background. I learned not to disturb Visual Studio because then it's going to become problematic. Okay, let's quickly go to the post version of the login action method. And then we're going to skip this part because the account is not deleted and they have confirmed the email. They have confirmed their phone number, so we're going to skip the part, and then we're going to authenticate them using their username and their password, and then we are awaiting the results. And then if the result is success, yes, this is where now they're not administrator, so we're going to skip this part. The part I wanted is this one, the else part. What if their role is this partial access, right? So we are saying else. After everything said and done, else. Now we need to check first that, because right now they do not have this role partial. Let's go and prove that. Now let's look for, okay, the roles. These are the roles on my system, but I want to go to the users. This is why my YouTube channel, the content on this channel, it's so good, because then you get to see how these pieces work together, not just on the fancy UI but the code. Now do you see this person? We know that they have confirmed their email, they have added their phone number, they confirmed their phone number, and they're not deleted, and we added them on Sunday the 27th of June 6:59 a.m. right? So I want to get inside to show you that they do not have any role assigned to them. So it doesn't matter if you know this public URL and or this public domain, you register account. No, I will know. So if I go to edit, I'll explain this when I get to the users controller later on, not now. Edit roles. So you see that there are no roles found, right? So this proves the point to say, if we go back to the code, we're gonna check, is this current user, are they in this role called partial access? So if they're not in that role, then they're going to be redirected. Firstly, we're going to kick them out, and then they're going to be redirected to a subscription page, and we saw that, right? Now, I don't want them to be redirected here. Well, let them make a payment. Okay, say this YouTube_user has made payments, right? And then I only get confirmation that they made payment. The first thing as administrator to do is to give them partial access role. That's exactly what we're going to do. So let me start this process again. Let me go to cancel to go all the way from the beginning. So I'm going to search for the user. Click that user. So here I get to see the entire information about the user. Everything. Every single piece of information. I'm going to go and say edit. I can delete the user permanently, but I do not do that anymore. Here I cannot edit the username. I cannot edit any other thing, including the password. I can change it. I can change the state that now this user is deleted and their businesses won't be online anymore. We'll do a live test for this. Edit roles. You see I have those three system roles. So now I'm going to grant them partial access, and I just hit add role. That's it. It says succeeded. You have added user YouTube_user to role partial access. There we go, and that's it. And now they have access to this role. I can give them multiple roles, but I'm not going to do that because you see now I removed that partial access because I cannot grant them. This is good stuff. This is how good I am as a programmer. Right, now, so then I tell them, maybe I can write an email to say, hey, go and add now a business. So let's do that. But first we need to be authenticated from all these. Wait, but we don't have to do that. Let me use a private window of this browser. identicaldocs.co.za, not .z. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna go back now to test one, because they've been granted that partial access role. And then we're going to see the purpose of that partial access role. YouTube _ user login. Now check what's going to happen now. There we go. Now do you see now, after granting this specific user the permission or that role where they are now being redirected? So this is critical. So firstly, I'm giving them heads up to say, hey, every business will need to have the trading hours and services configured before it can go online, right? But what happened behind the scenes? I'm glad you asked. So what I do is that if indeed this user has been granted a partial access, it's a partial access, the name speaks for itself, I'm only going to redirect them to this new controller called business index, and that's what we need to focus on briefly. So we're going to go to clients, business, and then here's a business controller because they share the same controller. There we go. You see, I can assign multiple roles for this controller to say, also let's have partial access. This is the only time that these people have been granted access. Also, this is very interesting to check something, that you see they don't have access to documents. They also don't have access to access pin, and I can prove that on one of the videos that we did called _layout file. If I go to views, shared, this, we made a video specifically on this file, and then one of the things that we looked at was the navigation bar, that how is it being set up. So that's where I use if statement to check if the current user who just been authenticated, what is it that they're allowed to see. Now we're talking about the authorization part of it. Give it a second to spin, or a minute or so. Right. Cool. So this is a document. Let's give it again a couple of seconds to spin, because I don't want to trigger Visual Studio to be unresponsive. Yeah. I just know, by the way, unless your device is faster, whenever you launch any view, it's going to take a while to spin. Yeah, just allow it to finish the process. You see now there are some red squiggles. They disappear after a while. Just do not disturb it, okay, because it's doing some stuff behind the scenes. That's a pro tip. Now let me go here. I want to go to, so see that disappeared. Now let's go and look at the else if the user is in this role, partial access. Another thing that do not hard code these roles. Do not hard code them. And funny enough, if you look at the account controller, I'm using the global variable to store this partial access role, but I didn't even update this on the, because then what if I change the name? You see, that's a problematic. So the point is, I'm only giving them access to this controller called business. So now we are done, and then I think that's it. That's it. Basically, we are done. So in the next video, we're probably going to add a business and add a couple of things, and then we'll be done, because they have to go through this process on my system. So I guess I'll see you on the next video. But just know that the special access, it's temporarily, and then I'll explain why. But we need to have them to add the business at least before we can add a subscription. Okay, so I'm gonna destroy this one, and then I'm gonna destroy that one, and then I'm gonna log out. There we go. I hope you found this video informative, because it is. It shows that how smart and genius I am. With that being said, I'm out. Stay tuned for the next video. I promise good stuff. Alright, till next time.